Alright, this is going to be a tutorial where I basically make a ball pit out of the first person character in Unreal. Gonna be changing up how the gun works in order to make the ball pit. Going to change its size, its ability to exist in the world, and its collisions a bit. So let's let's hop on in to this. Um, so I'm gonna show you how to get to this. From content, you want to go to the first person blueprints and then go into blueprints and then double click on first person projectile. It should take you here. So if we are clicking on the collision component, there should be a bunch of stuff going on over here. So before we mess with anything, let's just go into it, see how this works normally. Right, so you shoot once, it bounces a bit and disappears after a couple seconds. But that's not what we want. We want the projectiles to stick around for as long as we need them to actually make a ball pit out of it. So if we go up here and click on this, it brings us to the projectile entirely instead of just the collision. So if we look at the initial lifespan, it's at 3 seconds right now. If we just reset that to 0, and then compile and save, and go ahead and play again, when we shoot, still bounce a couple times, but it doesn't go away after 3 seconds anymore. So step 1 to creating a ball pit has been completed. We have infinite, never disappearing balls for our ball pit. Now, if we want them to not disappear if they hit one of these, we can just go over here again and delete this little note right here. Let me just scroll in here. It's just destroy actor, so that when it hits stuff, it destroys itself. So if we just get rid of that and compile and save again, go back in, now when we shoot, still tosses these around, but the little projectiles are still here. So there we go. Now the really fun part, if we go over to our viewport here, we can actually change the scale of this little sphere. So it's at 0.1 right now. So if we just reset this to 1, it's significantly larger. So let's just save that, and oh, look at that. Look at that absolute beaut of a giant ball. Just a bunch of little Pac-Mans running around. Unfortunately, though, they're all half in the ground because we didn't change the hitbox of the projectile. So let's do that. So if we zoom in here, we should be able to change this to better accommodate our new projectile. I think right there ought to do it. Just compile, save, go into it. Oh, look at that. Look at that. This is glorious. We still have a problem though, because the player goes right through. It's not very ball pit-esque if the player just goes right through the balls in the ball pit. So now we gotta mess around with that. So if we come down here and change the collision presets, set it to set it to pawn, see how that do. There we go. We smack our face off of it, which is just what we wanted. So now we got some collision happening, but they don't really get tossed around when they get shot like these do. Because like you hit that and it goes spinning off into the distance, which that is what we want. So if we actually look at this, so we look down here. It's simulating physics. So let's do that over here. Set it to simulate physics. Look at that. So now, when one goes out and we shoot it again, it pushes them all around. And because it's a ball, I do believe that we can also just push it with our face. There we go. Look at that. Picks up some decent speed too. So now we got pretty much everything we need to make a pretty legit ball pit. So it's pretty much ball pit territory now. Just for the sake of ball pit business, I'm gonna just take all these out. Just that way there's nothing obstructing our pit here. And I'm actually going to mess around with this a little bit more. I'm gonna make it have mass. And we'll just save that. And just like that, we got a little ball pit that we can run around in. Now, if we had kept the projectiles super small, we could fit a lot more in here, and it would get probably pretty glitchy. But like, you can push them up, they get like popped over the wall and stuff. It's pretty interesting. Ooh. Okay, so the last thing that we're going to do is we're gonna just for why not sake, we're gonna add a light to the projectile. We'll just keep it called point light for for simplicity's sake. I'm going to bring its intensity up a little bit and make it a nice blue color, right? So if we save that and hit play here, they got some glow to them. Now, if you wanted to, you could go in and write a little bit of code to make it so that every time that you shoot one of these, it's a different color. And you could also do that with the actual color of the ball. You can make it like super like rave ball pit. I actually will go in and change the color of the actual sphere in here. So if we make it like some concrete tiles, just like a giant chunk of concrete rolling around that you just smack your face into. But you could also just change what you're shooting. So like we could shoot cubes. We would want to change the collision though to not a sphere collider or capsule. So we'll just give that a box collider. Move all these around here. Gotta make this box a little bit bigger so that it accommodates the size of the square we got going on here. Just quickly kind of push this around here. Now if we save this and hit play. Oh. Ooh, yeah, we gotta fix the collisions on this again. Make it simulate physics. And set this to pawn. And that should do it. There we go. Now we shoot squares of concrete out of our gun. Glowy squares of concrete. So if you combined all these things together, you could have a ball pit that every time that you shoot, it is a different shape, a different color, and it has different glow to it. And I think that would be a pretty interesting little ball pit. You can also use this to make a way out of this area just by climbing the boxes. We didn't quite get enough over here to get out, but you can do it for that kind of mechanic in a game as well, where you just gotta like build your exit. So you gotta figure out how to get the boxes all lined up for you to get out. Like, yeah, that's pretty much it for my little projectile changing tutorial. Hope you enjoyed, and happy ball pit.